Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Which was recommended to us actually by Jeb. Again, you know, he loves a lot of shows. He recommends a lot of shows. He gives us a lot of shows to watch. And not all of them are bad. However, before that, we were talking about being reincarnated possibly as a snail, going on a little tangent, talking about some comparisons, and then reminding Rick the wonderful world of Junji Ito collection. If you want to catch a part of that wider conversation, patreon.com/featured anime podcast. $1 a month will get you all that bonus content. Now, on to the meat and potatoes. The problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? Came out in January 2013, ran all the way through March 2013. It's 10 episodes long. Producers for it are Kadokawa, Nippon, and Flying Dog. Studio is Diomedéa. It's based off of a light novel. Genres are action, comedy, fantasy, and supernatural. And I'll tell you this right now, Rick, and we touched lightly on it in the pre-show. This really rings heavily No Game, No Life to me. It has a lot of comparisons for it and a lot of parallels for me.
In what manner?
The fact
specifically,
the fact that you are challenging others and it's in a game form, and there are specific situations where you can't reject a game or you can't turn down a game.
Now, I have a question with that, because is Demon Lord a title or is it a race?
I would assume a title.
Why?
Mainly because of some of the characters that are there and some of the ones that they reference. I mean, like, I'm interested. Do you have a different viewpoint? Do you feel like it's a race more so than anything else?
No, I personally felt like it was a title that can be given, but it was one of those things that, is it given or is it taken? And if it's taken, who's it taken from? Like, what do you need to happen to be recognized as a Demon Lord? And the biggest difference for me that a Demon Lord offers versus the rest of everyone there was when a Demon Lord challenges you to a game, you can't say no.
Yeah, what's interesting is that it's also a different colored scroll.
Yes.
So the scrolls that are out there are normal parchment paper. However, this one, the Demon Lords are black. But one of the parallels that I draw is that there's games or contests that they actually do.
Well, not just that, but games that everyone knows the rules to.
Or the rules are laid out to beforehand.
Yeah, like once you get the paper, the rules are there. They're in writing, essentially. Mm-hmm. And I really liked the fact that you had game monitors there, game moderators, not monitors. And the way that everything went about happening was kind of cool. Although I'm very curious, what do you think the powers of the children that were called actually were?
What do you mean? Like, are you talking about the ones that were teleported into the world?
Yeah, because from what I understand, they were all taken from different versions of their alternate reality. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And that's one of the things that I actually found really interesting was they specifically stated that they all come from an Earth. However, those Earths are on different timelines and a parallel to each other. So the history of the individuals, even if they are, say, both from 2020 or 2022 in this for us, the past for them is going to be vastly different simply because of the events that transpired on each of those planets took different paths. And they all intersected at one particular point, and that's where they all are. I got
kind of a weird question for you.
Yes.
Was there a twist you were expecting that didn't happen?
Well, I mean, like, the biggest twist that I expected to happen was there would be an ending.
No, never.
Oh.
So the biggest
twist.
The biggest twist I was expecting was to find out that they're not different people. They're from different worlds, but it's the same person. So, like, let's say you have world 1, 2, and 3, yeah?
Yeah.
The history would be different, but you're going to take Rick from world 1, Rick from world 2, and Rickette from world 3, because something happened that now Rick is a girl. You know what I mean? Which is why you've got 2 girls and a boy. So they're obviously special. They can't be the only special ones, and they're special in varying different powers. They're all kind of...
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Really?
Wait, is that what did they say?
That they're all from the same planet, but
different realities, yes.
Different realities. Not that they're the same person.
No, they never said that.
But that's what you just said.
I was expecting them to say that.
Okay. My bad. Okay. All right. Okay. You're good. I'm sorry. For a second, I thought you were saying, no, they're all the same person. I'm like,
yeah,
where the hell did that come from?
Right? It was with the time traveling grandkids. I can't believe you didn't see it.
Oh, I know, between episodes 3 and 4, right there in between somewhere, right? Yeah, I got you.
Must not have been paying attention.
I must not. It only happened for a half a second. I got you. Okay, I got you. My bad. I apologize, sir.
Yeah. No, I mean, in my thought process and in my, I guess, hope, I don't know. It would have been a really cool twist. Would have been really cool.
Yeah, see, that would have been a cool twist. That would have been a great twist. I'm glad they didn't do that though, because that would have just confused the living hell out of me though.
I mean,
like
you say tomato, I say confused.
Well, yeah, obviously. All right, so I would love to know more about Izio Sakamaki, blonde hair kid with the head with the blonde hair, headphones. Yeah, him.
Headphones. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you like to know about him?
Everything. Like, why the hell is he so strong? What the hell makes him so formidable? And what made it so that he was able to be that way? Yeah, and like Asuka, it's the same thing, right? Her powers are very unique and whatnot. However, she has that wood pendant that basically gives her power. And should you take that pendant off, her powers are gone. Is that wood pendant from there originally too?
I believe it is
from the garden. And so my next question is from Little Garden.
Not from the garden, sir.
From the Little Garden. And if it is from Little Garden, how did it get to her world? Like who?
Well, I mean, obviously the dad was abducted and taken there, and they had it forced to be played games, right? That was his victory.
I guess that's a pretty poor victory choice if that's what he took. But
no, my thought process on it was more to the point of I think that her power was more in the belief that it works rather than the fact that it works.
Wait, whose? Use or
the girls? Yeah, use.
Okay. Well, there's 2 girls.
I believe that because she believed it was going to work is why it worked.
Well, they specifically stated that it was a particular type of a tree or wood. Correct. And that there's special properties or engrams or designs or whatever, what have you, something special, some plot designs on there with some plot spit to make sure that it stays formed properly.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because they can choose their power, I think that her power isn't in the amulet, or not. It was not originally in the amulet. Her father kept telling her stories about mythical creatures and fantastical things.
They state where she gets her powers from. She gets her powers from the connections and friends that she makes, and
yes, she has to make friends with
part of their abilities from it. But
yes,
would you say that I wouldn't say that also translates to Asuka or Sakamaki, who are born with their powers?
Here's the thing. I think that this is just my speculation, but I think they're all born with the same ability. This lends to the fact that I think they're all the same person. So the red girl, she over and over says, "Did I choose wrong? Did I choose my power wrong?" And the other guy, the guy, I imagine he just wants to be invincible. There's no real ability there. There's no real backstory we get told about. He's just punching everything, solving everything with his fists, right?
Yeah, but he's not looking for invincibility. He's looking for entertainment, someone to provide him some form of entertainment. So it's not a matter of invincibility. He's looking for fun. So I don't think that's it.
Now, well, here's my counter to that. One Punch Man. One Punch Man wanted invincibility. He wanted to become stronger to the point where then he's no longer strong, right? Whether he's no longer able to find a challenge. So I'm guessing if their power is all the same, if they're the same person, they share the same base ability, and if they can choose, if their base ability is to choose their power, the sick girl chose to believe her father that the wood amulet that she was given has all these powers, but you have to make friends. Because remember, she was alone in the hospital.
Yeah.
So she really didn't see anybody. So the desire to make friends could have been part of that amulet to encourage her eventually to go out and do stuff and be healed and stuff like that. But the guy could have had a messed up childhood and was like, I just want to be stronger, with no particular boundaries on how much strength is enough. And he just kept going. But it all goes back to the base ability of you choose what you want it to be.
See, I can get that when it comes to Asuka, but hers was evolved and changed the more that she used it to a very particular way.
Yep, it changes how she wants it to.
I don't think that applies to you or him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think their base ability, if they're the same person, like
and they're
I
not
keep
even the
saying
base ability, because for one, the other two they're born with it, right? And
they're all born with it.
No, she's not. Her ability, they specifically state her ability comes from the amulet that she wears. She's not born with the amulet. She couldn't even walk while she was in the hospital. She was only able to walk because her dad trusted and loved her so much that she was given the ability to walk because of him, not because she was born with the ability to choose an amulet at the particular point in time to make her walk.
No. So my whole thing is she believed her father gave her this thing that gave her power.
That's because that's what he told her.
Yes.
However, she wasn't given that until much later on in her life. Hey, I understand you can't walk. Here's an amulet. I'm going to tell you some stories, and then you'll believe that it has powers. I'm going to tell you all these stories, and then here's this amulet. And then right after I give you this amulet, this is what's going to end up happening. He doesn't even tell her that.
Yeah, no, so I could be misremembering, but I thought when he gave her the amulet, he said something to the effect of, it'll heal you, or it will do something like that. And again, I go back to the base ability of it being what you want it to be. She wanted to believe her father, so the thing that her power morphed into that. The guy wanted to be invincible, and his power morphed into that. The girl wanted to tell everybody what to do. It morphed into that. I think that the ability has the ability they have has the ability, ironically enough,
here's the thing,
to change and evolve.
That's what they wanted. However, we don't know that that's what they wanted.
No, we don't, which is why it's a theory.
Yeah.
But so what I'm trying to do is explain why I think that's a thing.
Right.
What you're doing is throwing up roadblocks why you think that's not a thing.
Well, I'm just, look, hey, you live in the world of, this would be nice if it happened. I live in the world of, that's not going to happen. And then, we eventually come to a point where it kind of did, but yet it didn't happen. And then we're like, well, cool. At least there was no time traveling granddaughter.
God. Yeah. I'm not going to live that down. Probably because I'm the one that actually keeps bringing it back up.
That's okay. That's all right. Hey, Rick, you know what? It's okay.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, all of these fairy tales that come through in here are recognized by the characters at a different point in time.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the griffin was just like my dad said it was, according to the sick girl.
Right.
And
so which brings credence to the fact that he had originally been in Little Garden, or he was there for a while and then somehow went back to his own world, I think.
So you think he was there, went back to his own world with a piece of wood?
Yes.
But you just said it was a crap gift.
I didn't say it was
a crap gift. And if that was the case, how come he didn't have it all over or all the time?
What?
if that was the case, how come he didn't just give her the thing when she first got sick?
Maybe. Follow me now. All right. He got teleported to there. Time flows differently while they're in the little garden, as they have stated. And then he somehow made it back there and gave her the gift.
After he had a child.
Yeah. What? Hey, I'm sorry. Was there a rule saying that you couldn't be teleported there or go there after you have a child?
No, but I was under the impression, I think that the bunny even said it, that they can't bring over adults.
Who's to say? Hey, you know what, man? We live in a new world. All right. Who's to say that he wasn't a teenager when he had you? All right. He would still qualify.
True. He would. But that means he was an absentee father for years.
Well, hang on. No, this is why I'm saying, like, time flows differently in between the two. So for them, it may have only been like 3 or 4 years or 2 years or whatever, but for him, it was like 10 years, 15 years. So he came back and was like, hey, honey, I'm home. I finally came back from the store. And she's like, yeah.
I thought you were dead. Oh, no, this is going to cause so many problems. And he's like, why? And she goes, well, when you left, we thought you were dead. I waited the year and 1 day, and then I cashed in all of the life insurance policies I caught out on you. And he's like, what life insurance policy? And she goes, the multi-million-dollar ones we're going to have to pay back now because you're alive. Can you fix it? And then he goes, well, I mean, I got this cool wooden pendant that will...
Rick, look, I never said that it was 100% certainty. I'm just, you're out there throwing theories. Why can't I throw out a theory? Mine's about an absentee father. So...
And then he shows up. He's like, how much money? Ah, crap. This is 2%. I meant to get whole milk. I'll be back.
Exactly. Hang on. Let me stop by the hospital real quick. I understand that you's always in there. Let me give her this gift and tell her some stories.
Yeah, right.
Gives it to her, bones out, and there you go. Boom. Mystery solved.
Fair. That makes sense. That makes 100% sense. He's like, you know what? Take these gifts with you. By the way, if you see a letter, it's not from me. Later.
Yep. So I mean, at least mine makes some kind of sense. He's an absentee father.
Yeah.
I mean, so hey, you know, in all seriousness, like, you just had 3 kids get abducted from 3 different parallel worlds,
or who knows? To save on again. Could be the same kid. So you're not abducting 3, you're abducting 1 times 3, which is,
same thing. 3.
1. 3. It's 1.
1 times 3 equals 3, Rick.
Not in their world.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Different math as well as different physics.
Okay. All right.
Oh, goodness.
So,
if you can't tell, we like the show so far.
It was great. It really was. I had a lot of fun watching the show. It was only 10. So one of the negative things I really have to say is I did not like that it was only 10 episodes, and I hated how there was no ending. Just like No Game, No Life.
Yeah, I was going to say, they set it up real pretty to do a season 2. Hell, it wasn't even a season 2 they were looking at. It was what they set it up real pretty for just more.
Right.
So I was hoping to have more, just like you were, I'm sure.
I'm always hoping for more.
Never says.
You know, it can't be like One Piece where it's still going on, but you know, somewhere in between. No, in between 10 and 1,000, leading more towards that 1,000 end mark, with an ending is more along the lines of what I'm wanting. You know, just like give me more, give me answers, don't leave me hanging.
You know what that sounds like to me?
I'm gonna just venture out and say it sounds like a really great idea and something that we all should strive for.
It sounds like Naruto. Now, I liked Naruto. I liked Naruto Shippuden. That's about it.
Okay. Well,
Boruto.
Hey, you know what?
Boruto is my hard limit. Sorry.
You know what?
Like it sucks so bad they had to bring Kid Naruto back. Like that.
Look. For a guy who talks a lot of trash about it, your computer wallpaper, I believe, is of who?
Naruto.
Boruto.
Yes.
No, it's
no.
Of
Hold up. I will post this. No,
it is.
It is
Boruto. The wallpaper?
Naruto.
No, I swear.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's Boruto.
Naruto.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I guarantee.
Naruto.
Rick. That's the picture from the opening scene of episode 1 of Boruto when he is being told that he will be sent to where his father is.
Nope.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but no.
Yeah.
No, this is Naruto.
Hey, you go
I'm
ahead.
looking at it right now.
Rick.
Looking at it right now.
Rick. Okay. All right. We're not here to hate you. I just want you to understand the folly of your thoughts.
Folly. You're not wrong. You're just misguided, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, actually. I mean, like, it is true.
It's not your fault you're so wrong. We can help.
Yeah, actually.
You sound like a door-to-door salesman. It's not your fault your house is a mess. We can help. For $49.95, we'll come in and we'll tell you what a piece of shit you are.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wrong kind of salesman.
All right. So, all that being said and everything like that, on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
Oh, we're done. Okay.
I mean, we can go on.
I was fully prepared.
We can go on, but you know what? For a 10 episode show, I feel like we gotta let people, 10. We just gave them a little.
Okay,
taste.
you want to hold up the major reveal. Okay, I got you.
Wait, what? The fact that you're what?
No, there was no major reveal. I was just saying the last 2 or 3 episodes were tasty, but they didn't have an ending.
Yeah,
sucked.
no, it didn't. And I'll tell you this right now. I liked that they did bring up several different fairy tales or
like
folklore.
Folklore would be better.
Yeah, into it, and they referenced different like ideologies and beliefs, and and for the final battle, they basically took one folklore and broke it down, and like this is what actually ended up happening, and like in their own viewpoint and their own words beyond that,
True. No, they did do a fantastic job, and so the way they broke it down, I was not expecting because I didn't realize that so many things come from one event.
Mm-hmm.
So many, one story can trace back to 4 or 5 different events. And even though it's not necessarily lost through history or whatnot, it's not necessarily solidified in history.
Mm-hmm.
Big Fat, for instance, Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Kids show, or it's a kids thing. We were all listening to it. We all played it, but it's about the Black Plague.
It is, and it's actually very dark. And same thing for the flute, the Pied Piper with the rats. It turns out it's very dark, and it's not about rats. It's about children killed.
Oh yeah,
which tends to be a running theme for a lot of like things that we grew up with that we know, love, and enjoy. And the older we get, we're like, oh, this is really messed up. What the hell?
Yeah. This isn't safe for kids, but let's tell it to them anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but yes. So a rating. Well, certainly not a 10, not a 2 either.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So my biggest problem with the series was the Deus Ex Machina that the guy was. He could just punch a different. He punched a a petrifying spell.
Yeah.
Like, and then he like
destroyed it.
Sledgehammer kicked it as well, and you're like, okay, this is supposed to be a non-physical thing. So what? Are you just breaking everything?
Well, sir, when you have a plot strength, nothing can do you harm. All right.
That's not true. He got hit and spit out blood. Granted, it was like a mouthful from when a train damn near ran him over, but still.
And he laughed it off. He goes,
I haven't felt something in so long.
Oh, my fingers tingle.
Okay, Kenpachi. Right. Easy there.
Hey.
So, okay. So aside from my just annoyance, I'm going to give this a solid 8 because It had an upbeat story. It wasn't drawn out. I feel like if it was 12 episodes, they might have just made some of the fights longer.
Yeah.
That I didn't really hear much music, so I really can't go off that. But the storyboard was interactive. It kept going, and it was, I'd say, fairly solid. It was consistent, and it kept my attention.
Okay.
So yeah, 8. And you?
I'm going with a 9. And the reason why I'm going with a 9 is because, one, it did pop. I'm glad that they cut it off at 10 episodes rather than try and do an extra 2-episode filler or anything like that. Throw in an obligatory like beach episode or something like that halfway through it, or decide to do a recap. I'm glad they just did. We just got 10 episodes. That's all we're going to do. And then they cut it right at 10 episodes. Granted, they left it for one killer open ending. However, they were able to kind of round it off to where it's like, I kind of know where this is going to end up going, kind of like with No Game, No Life. However, I would love to see the journey there. I do recommend it highly. I mean, especially if you love No Game, No Life, I highly recommend that you actually check it out. As for the music, it was there, but wasn't there.
I mean, you and I are all about music, like especially when it's decent, when it's good, when it's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, if you if you look at the first anime that you watched that made me cry like a little girl, and it just so happens to be one of our highest viewed things, and
Your Lie in April is a masterpiece. It is
and
great.
if you want to listen to me make a fool of myself in the first 10 seconds, that'd be the one to go to.
Right? It is music can either make it or break it, right? And if
absolutely.
And I would honestly say, if you don't have music that will make it, that will help it, that it should not be there. And I feel like they excelled at that. That if it was there, it helped it. But when it wasn't there, it wasn't missed. I didn't feel like there was something missing from it.
Yeah, and that's a really big part sometimes. Like, and what did we watch? Vampire? It wasn't Vampire. It was Vampire Night. I was gonna say Vampire Diaries, but I'm like, no, we did not watch that. So Vampire Night.
Yes.
It had music inserted into it. I watched it again because my girl loves it.
Right.
But I watched it, and they had music inserted in places that just felt forced.
Yeah.
Felt like they're trying to get eerie, and they got corny.
Yeah. Gotta love it. So next week's choice is actually your choice, sir.
It is. Now, do you want to know what it is?
I mean, typically, yes.
Okay. Well, considering that we've evolved since Your Lie in April, I'd like to stick along that theory, or that train of thought, and the fruit of evolution. Before I knew it, my life had been made, or had it made.
Okay.
Is the title of the next one I'd like to see.
All right, sounds good to me. Can't argue with that.
It reminds the animation style reminds me of Excel World, which is why I chose it. Or at least the cover.
Okay.
So,
all right.
God willing, it follows that.
Hopefully, can only hope. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this week's choice. If you feel like we did it too much justice, didn't do it enough justice, got something right, got something wrong, or just plain just wrong all over the place, feel free to reach out to us. Let us know. featuredanimepodcast@gmail.com, at Those Anime Guys on Twitter, Featured Anime Podcast on Facebook, or you can hang out with us in our Discord. We're always in there, or at least I'm always in there. Rick's usually lurking around in there and chit-chat with us and talk to us. And if you want to support us and help us grow and get some bonus content, patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast. Or you can buy yourself some swanky merch, shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. Until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.